message.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, C.H. Moore Homestead. Good morning, Joey.
Good morning, Seth.
It's good to see you today. Thanks for making the trip out to talk to us today. I know you've got an event coming up on your plate, or on your calendar, and that's not even the Apple and Pork Festival, which we'll briefly touch on later in the program. Tell us what's coming up at the museum.
Yes, so we're so excited. We have a special event coming on August 4th. That's a Sunday afternoon at 1:30, and it is called This Land Is Your Land, Folk Songs of Woody Guthrie.
Mm-hmm.
And this event was made possible through a grant that was granted to the DeWitt County Museum Association by the Illinois Humanities Council. This is the second such event that we've been able to host this year. Looking forward to hopefully having more next year, too. The first one was the event about the Underground Railroad quilts.
Yeah.
Very well attended, over 70 people from all over Central Illinois, and we're hoping to have the same kind of crowd for this event.
Now, was that back in June?
It was in June. We scheduled it so that the Underground Railroad quilt program was taking place at the same time as our month-long quilt show.
Yeah,
so it's
sure.
a perfect marriage of two events.
That's what I was thinking about as I asked that question, so well said. Now, when it comes to the Underground Railroad event, tell me a little bit about that one, because I'm sure you didn't want to say too much to not keep people from coming out. So how, what did you get to attend? By the way, did you get to attend that, and what did you hear?
I sure did.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. So this lady, her name was Connie Martin. She goes all over the state and beyond giving this presentation. One thing I think that makes it quite interesting is she's not just telling the story of, the abolitionists and those who are needing to use the Underground Railroad, but her own family's history is entwined in that.
Really?
And her topic and her research, much of that was actually based on her family's oral history. Some historians kind of dismiss that kind of thing, but then she's also been able to find solid evidence, that backs up what that oral history was through the years. So I guess to put it in a nutshell, there were abolitionists who would make quilts and then display quilts, and the way that the quilt was hanging, or there would be a certain pattern of the quilt, or something significant about that quilt that would convey a message to those who are traveling on the Underground Railroad. This place is safe. Do not stop here. And one remarkable thing that happened, like I mentioned, we had over 70 people. Well, among the 70 people was a lady from, I believe she was from Jacksonville, and she had been in communication with Connie about a family heirloom quilt that had been passed down to her that she suspected might be one of those Underground Railroad quilts. So she brought it to the program, showed it to Connie afterwards, and quite a few people stayed after, just to, talk with her and, purchase her books and whatnot. And this lady who had the quilt, her family was from an area in Ohio that is known to be a hotbed for Underground Railroad activity and abolitionists. And when she unfolded and opened the quilt and Connie saw it, she said, "Oh, absolutely, no doubt. You see this right here? This is a signal quilt."
Really?
So that was great.
Wow, to have it right there, that's cool. Yeah, that's really
Yes.
neat.
And for that lady to get her answer that yes, your heirloom quilt, even though no one really said anything to you about it, that's what that is.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, I'm curious, did she speak to much of maybe the challenge of that, keeping that message in that small circle of people that understood? Did she speak to that at all?
Absolutely, she did. You have to get the information out, and you are trying to get the information out to people who
You can trust.
probably cannot read or write. So, it's an oral thing. some of them probably could, but they weren't supposed to know how to read and write. And then, yes, it was a top secret thing. So very few people were really trusted with this information. So you can see how, as time would go on, perhaps that information would be lost. But in her family, it survived. And from that, she has built an amazing program. She's enlightening people all over the state. And I was just so pleased that, that we were able to bring someone of that quality and that knowledge to be able to bring her here to Clinton. You would have to go to Chicago to hear, a speaker like that.
Yeah.
But she came to us, and it really is a testament that our community and the surrounding communities are interested in, the arts and culture and having the opportunity to attend something like that.
Did she give any feedback as to her thoughts on the crowd that came out for that event?
She was surprised. She
Okay.
was. And I know that she's gone and she's spoken, to groups probably larger than ours. But with her being from the Chicago area, I think maybe she expected perhaps a smaller group. And boy, did we surprise her.
Now, where was that at? Was that at the library?
It was in the carriage barn.
Oh, in the carriage barn.
The
Okay.
museum's carriage barn is really a fantastic place to have an event. So plenty of space for everyone. If it rains, you have the barn for shelter. And then, don't forget we have that little kitchenette. So we're able to serve the tea and the cookies and the lemonade and everything from there.
Sure.
Electricity, no air conditioning, unfortunately, but we made the best with the fans. It ended up happening on one of June's cooler days with a nice breeze, and everything went splendidly.
That's great. That's great to hear. So glad things went well with that event. And again, hopefully kind of a similar crowd for one coming up in August. Just again, give us the when, the where, and the what.
Yes, I'm hoping so. So it's This Land Is Your Land, Folk Songs of Woody Guthrie, and that takes place on Sunday, August 4th at 1:30 p.m. So we're asking everyone to come out and enjoy some great music as we welcome musician, historian, and storyteller Bucky Halker to the museum's carriage barn. Now, it'll either be in the carriage barn or it'll be on the front lawn, depending on the weather, of course. So his presentation it's a live musical presentation, and he plays the folk songs and music of Woody Guthrie, but in between he also adds commentary about that particular song, commentary about the time period, what's going on in our nation's history during this time. So it's a great opportunity to take in some wonderful live music. And Mr. Halker, he has performed in Germany, Paris, all over, so we are thrilled to have him here with us.
Sure.
And I would say you don't even have to, be a person who's very interested in history to enjoy something like this.
Okay.
So I would encourage everyone to come out. If we do end up having a crowd as large as, what we had for the last event that was sponsored by the Illinois Humanities, I will add that we do, of course, have parking on the west side of the museum in that lot, but there's also additional museum parking across the street from the museum to the south. There's an entire lot there as well.
Oh, okay.
So come on out and enjoy a Sunday afternoon with us and Mr. Halker.
No question. So be a part of that. Very good. Anything else to mention on that event there, Joey?
Well, I think I would like to mention that it's a free event. So everyone's invited to come. And I just hope that everybody does turn out and has a nice afternoon with us.
For sure. Joey Long is the director of the DeWitt County Museum, my guest in studio here for this morning. Joey, anything else on the calendar coming up? I know we mentioned apple and pork. Let's wait for that till after the break, but anything you want to mention this morning?
Well, we do have an Apple and Pork Festival related thing coming up, and that would be the Parade of Pigs. It's going to be that time again soon. So we have that all worked out. So the pigs can be picked up on August 20th through the 24th, or until they're gone. You probably want to come closer to the 20th because in years past, often we do run out of pigs. And then the drop-off will be September 20th to 22nd. There's a $5 registration fee, and as in the past, there will be prizes awarded. So $50 to the grand champion and $25 to reserve.
Sure. Tell us a little bit about what the Parade of Pigs is all about.
The Parade of Pigs. It started years and years ago. It was the pet project of Helen Stites, who was a longtime board member. And people who enter the contest are, for the $5 entry fee, they're giving a plywood cutout pig silhouette. And then they take that home and they decorate it in any way they feel. And then they're all returned, and we display the pigs during the festival, and judging takes place, and you get your blue ribbon or your red ribbon if you win, and you get your picture in the paper and bragging rights.
Yeah. Isn't there a cash prize? Am I remembering that right?
Yes, $50 for first,
Yeah.
and $25 for second.
Sure, very
Yeah.
good. So, yeah, and those will be right off of where we broadcast at the Apple and Pork Festival this fall. So, looking forward to that. How do folks get entered and get information on that, Joey? What do they need to do?
They can follow our Facebook page. It's C.H. Moore Homestead, DeWitt County Museum. Or they can give us a call to the museum, and that number is 217-935-6066.
Did you may have said it and I missed it. Did you say the dates those are available, or they become available?
Yes, so they can be picked up August 20th through 24th, but that's only, we have that window of time. It's the 20th or the 20 to the 24th, or until we run out of pigs, and that often is the case.
Okay, so they can start being picked up on the 20th. All
During
right.
regular museum hours. So that would be regular museum hours are 10 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday, and 1 to 5 on Sunday.
Okay, very good. So keep that in mind. Joey, what's the best way for folks to learn about all things DeWitt County Museum and C.H. Moore Homestead?
They can follow our Facebook page, C.H. Moore Homestead and DeWitt County Museum. They can go to our website. It's www.chmorehomestead.org. They can give us a call, 217-935-6066, or feel free to stop by anytime.
Easy enough. Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, C.H. Moore Homestead, our guest in studio. We've got more with Joey coming up on the morning show.
WHOW.
Here's CEO Paul Skowron from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton on their expanded state-of-the-art emergency room.
The ambulance service now identifies that we can service more patients, so volume is increasing. People that have to come to the emergency room are given constant compliments on the larger waiting area and the fact that they can now see what's going on in the emergency room.
This emergency room expansion means big hospital tech, small hospital caring. Warner Hospital and Health Services expanded emergency room in Clinton.
Tune into all of WHOW's platforms on AM, FM, and streamed at IllinoisFarmRadio.com for live coverage of the DeWitt 4-H Fair, featuring 4-Hers from DeWitt, Piatt, and Macon counties. The Farmers City Junior Fair, featuring junior 4-Hers from the area, and reports from the Illinois State Fair this summer. And see results from all fair judging in the area by clicking the Fair Results icon next to the masthead on DeWittDailyNews.com. Our coverage is brought to you by our title sponsor, Apex Clean Energy, growing a better future for local farmers and landowners in our local communities, along with the Macon County Farm Bureau, Country Financial Agent, John Prater in Clinton, Longview, Community Bank in Mount Pulaski and Chestnut, Maroa Ag, Warner Hospital in Clinton, and Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton. Live coverage of the DeWitt 4-H Fair, Farmer City Junior Fair, and the Illinois State Fair this summer on WHOW AM FM and stream live online at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Hi, this is Connie at Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton. Just in time for the heat of the summer, we have all our shorts and swimwear 20% off for the whole family. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for ways to save even more. Find us at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. It's greening up out there,
Time to work on my golf game.
and a perfect time to make that big move.
Like when my ball moves towards that tree. Oh, geez. 4.
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Call Utterback Real Estate or click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, C.H. Moore Homestead, in studio with us today. Joey, tell me about the initiative Picture Perfect Photo Preservation. What's going on here?
Yes, so we had an issue and then figured out how to fix that issue. And
Okay.
I think spread a little joy and make people happy and even make a little history.
Okay.
So the current situation, we have a photo gallery wall on the lower level at the museum. Lots of assorted photographs, images of Clinton in the early days, or DeWitt County, I should say. It's not just Clinton. And since I've been there, which is 11 years, I am seeing that, these photographs are fading and deteriorating due to light, age, time, all of these things that can happen. And in a lot of cases, these photographs that we have on the wall are the only one in existence. So you don't want to lose that. Those need to be taken off the wall. They need to be stabilized. They need to be put in archival storage and saved for generations to come. But you want people to still be able to see these amazing images. So the answer is the Picture Perfect Photo Preservation Project. That's lots of P's. And I got all that out without messing it up.
There you
Pretty
go.
Proud of
Yes.
that. So what we are doing is we are seeking sponsorships. So for $100, a selected image will be reproduced, enhanced, and printed. Most of them will be 11 by 14 size, and they will be put onto a museum exhibit quality material. So it's both light and moisture resistant, and with them all being the same size, we'll be able to change them in, change them out. It won't be permanent. That way we'll be able to show off a lot more photos than currently. And then the other neat thing, to see how this would work, I took our saddest photo, which is one of my favorites. Is probably one of, if not one of the definitely earliest images of the Clinton Square. So faded, some foxing, some damage, but a precious photograph. Terribly faded though. And I took it to Mark Woods, and he, cleaned it up a bit where there was foxing without losing, the original look of the image, and then enhanced it somewhat, put it onto this, enlarged it onto this 11 by 14 size material. There was a big flag in the center of the square. You couldn't even see that in the original.
Really?
You saw so much more detail. Oh, so now you can see that this was the livery stable. It's incredible. And so, that's going to happen with all of these other photographs. And for your sponsorship, you get recognition. So in recognition of contributions, the Picture Perfect sponsors will have the opportunity to have a tagline, a sponsorship tagline at the bottom of the image. So, something like "in memory of," or "by the family of," or "sponsored by the descendants of John J. McGraw, one of DeWitt County's early settlers," or "courtesy of," and then, insert your business name there.
So you're looking for both personal and corporate?
Yep.
Okay.
Smith Farms of DeWitt County, anything. And then I have about 9 have been sponsored so far, claimed. And I am trying to, if someone doesn't come in and say, I want to save this one, or if they leave it to me. For instance, my friend Guy Fraker, he's a retired lawyer in Bloomington. He's, worked with Looking for Lincoln. He's a member of the Lincoln Association. He's written scholarly books on Abraham Lincoln.
I think you had him on here with us one time.
I think I did.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
He's a wonderful man. So he knew that I was working on this, and so he, sent me a check for a sponsorship, and there was a nice little note in there, Madame Museum Director, pick me a good one. Well, I picked him a good one. So he will be sponsoring the second DeWitt County Courthouse image that's terribly faded. He's written about that courthouse and things that took place in that courthouse in his books. And then right above the door of the courthouse, the people of Clinton and DeWitt County hung a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Perfect. I had a retired school teacher, and she wanted to do something, she and her husband. And so I paired her up with a photograph we have of the McCorkle School, where John Wesley Powell was actually a teacher here in Clinton at one point. But I thought that was very fitting with them both being lifelong retired teachers that they would save the schoolhouse picture. So I'm trying to match up interests. If there's anyone listening who has any ties to the railroad, I have some fantastic suggestions for that. I have some great images from early Waynesville, if there's anyone listening with a tie to Waynesville. But anyone who would be interested in sponsoring, please do get a hold of me at the museum.
How much is the sponsorship? Did you say
$100?
$100? Okay.
And what that pays for, I should tell you what that pays for. What that pays for, and it doesn't cover the entire cost, but close. What that pays for is having the image enhanced, enlarged, and reproduced on that museum quality material for exhibit. It goes towards the cost of the archival materials that will be needed to properly store this and stabilize the original. So that's what that goes to, as well as a digital copy.
Okay.
So, we're covering all of our bases here. And the other nice thing about this, too, if we have enough sponsors, I also have albums of fantastic images. But I cannot rip it out of the album because I've destroyed that collection and the context of that image. The collective whole is important. So these things sit. Sometimes I'll pull them out and show somebody that's touring, but usually they sit. So these images, fantastic. We'll be able to reproduce them out of the album. The album remains intact, but all these people can see these that are, tucked away.
Doggone it, Joy. I wish I had time to ask you what is the most fascinating thing you've noticed in some of the pictures that have been restored to this point. Maybe we'll save that for another time.
Do that next
yeah,
time.
Let's do that. Very good. Joey, where do folks go to learn about all things DeWitt County Museum, C.H. Moore Homestead?
They can go to our Facebook page. It's C.H. Moore Homestead, DeWitt County Museum. They can visit our website, www.chmorehomestead.com.
Very good. Very good. Joey, I hate to cut you off. I apologize for that. Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, C.H. Moore Homestead, our guest. Network News on the way.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. There is speculation of a possible prisoner swap between the U.S. and Russia now that Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich has been convicted of espionage and sentenced to 16 years in a Russian penal colony. Gershkovich, his employer, and the U.S. government all reject the allegations of spying. Following his brush with death last weekend, former President Trump has accepted the Republican presidential nomination. Closing out the GOP convention last night, Mr. Trump said he was there by the grace of God, and he pledged to right the troubled economy, secure the U.S. border, and combat crime. Sidelined at his Delaware beach house with a case of COVID, President Biden faces growing pressure from some prominent Democrats to drop his bid for re-election. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow down 300 points. More details at srnnews.com.
From the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local news update. The City of Clinton has a new vision statement and a new mission statement. They were approved Tuesday night at the Clinton City Council meeting, and Wednesday on the WHOW Morning Show, City Administrator Taylor Baxter laid those out for the community.
One of my objectives was when I came to the city of Clinton is that getting everybody on the same page. So how do we have a group of community stakeholders? We have the city leadership and also our city council mayor. How do we all get on the same page? And this is what the strategic plan is aimed to do. So we had meetings leading up to this, and then we were presented the final document last night. It's a really, really great document. We were able to come up with a vision statement, a mission statement, and values for the city of Clinton, and then as well as going department by department with goals and objectives to achieve. Really, really great document. If I can just read our vision and mission. So our vision that the city council officially approved to be the community of choice for family, business, education, and recreation, where all citizens are important to our city's growth. So that's our vision statement for the city of Clinton. And our mission statement: through responsible leadership, provide exceptional municipal services supporting our families, businesses, and visitors, establish